Chosen of the divine, lend your ears wide open and allow your hearts to embrace this profound revelation. This proclamation isn't meant for the masses wandering aimlessly. It's directed squarely at you, the ones who recognize deep within that your existence cannot remain mundane, the souls who feel an immense stirring in their spirits, signaling that something monumental is on the verge of unleashing itself. The heavens are orchestrating a blessing of such unparalleled magnitude that it defies ordinary comprehension. This isn't merely a modest boost or a fleeting chance. It's a divine endowment on the scale of billionaires. Indeed, a grace so overpowering that your name will etch itself into the annals of history as a celestial autograph, shining eternally. If these words are resonating with you right now, it's no mere coincidence. It's a heavenly summons, a direct invitation from the cosmos itself. The Almighty isn't just inflating your financial reservoirs, He's elevating your purpose, your command, over circumstances, and the legacy you'll leave behind. What is approaching isn't designed to stroke your vanity, but to reshape entire lineages through your vessel. Prepare yourselves, for gates sealed shut for centuries are swinging wide, unleashing a torrent of prosperity that no force, human or otherwise, can impede. This isn't just a vow, it's an ignition sparking right this instant. If your inner being vibrates in harmony with this utterance, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment with 99. That numeral symbolizes the divine pursuit, where the shepherd abandons the 99 to reclaim the one astray. By inscribing this figure, you're affirming that you've been rediscovered, selected, and anointed under this extraordinary favor. Pay close heed, for what I'm about to unveil bears no resemblance to the narrow worldly notions of wealth that society clings to. When the Creator speaks of a billionaire's blessing, He's not referring solely to digits flickering on a bank screen or assets hoarded in secure vaults. What He's pouring out upon His chosen ones today is a cascading river of abundance that overflows into every facet of life, saturating the physical, emotional, and spiritual realms alike. Envision an inexhaustible spring that doesn't just quench the thirst of your household, but nourishes your very essence, mends the fractures in your psyche, and revives fractured bonds with loved ones. This blessing operates like an ethereal breath descending from the skies, altering the very air you inhale, reshaping your thought patterns, and even infusing the aura you carry into any space you enter. It's far from a shallow present. It's a complete metamorphosis of your identity. Recall the tale of Joseph, betrayed and sold into slavery by his own kin, languishing forgotten in a dungeon where hope seemed extinguished. To the world's gaze, he possessed nothing, not even liberty. Yet in the eyes of the divine, he already held the master key to a nation's prosperity. When famine struck, it was through the provisions entrusted to him that countless lives were preserved. His wealth wasn't a private hoard, but a tool for liberation on a grand scale. That's the authentic essence of this divine favor. It doesn't confine itself to your personal sphere. It spills over to rescue those in your orbit. The Lord doesn't uplift you to shine in isolation, but to make your radiance a beacon piercing the gloom, a response to the unspoken pleas of the afflicted. Grasp this fully. Money is merely an instrument in this grand design. What the divine unleashes is infinitely broader, granting you sway, dominion, and the prowess to mold future eras. He bestows upon you the authority to craft a narrative that will imprint the earth long after your voice fades into eternity. Consider Esther's anointing. She wasn't just granted royal status. She was imbued with the boldness to leverage it for the salvation of an entire people. Heavenly abundance is invariably tethered to a higher calling. Every coin, every asset, every opening carries a sacred objective. As this blessing materializes, it doesn't merely free you from the dread of scarcity. It shatters the survival mindset that ensnared your forebears, convincing families that mere subsistence was their lot. It dismantles cycles of debt, disgrace, and exasperation, ushering you into a realm of fullness where each stride becomes a living testament to divine loyalty. This transcends financial windfalls. It's a healing that spans generations, mending wounds passed down through bloodlines. Picture awakening one dawn, not gripped by anxiety over bills piling up, but illuminated by a crystal clear vision. to erect schools, fund outreach endeavors, uplift entire households, and nurture spiritual guides. That's the true import of bearing a heaven-sent billionaire's blessing. It's not crafted to indulge transient whims, but to exalt your name as a conduit for righteousness, harmony, and profound change. It inscribes your journey into a saga that transcends temporal boundaries. And here's the enigma. This abundance doesn't commence when funds flood your accounts. It ignites in your mind today, the very moment you internalize that you're destined for grandeur beyond your wildest imaginings. By embracing this verity, celestial portals unlock, manifesting unseen treasures into the tangible world. Those who fail to comprehend will deem it too vast, too improbable. But the divine doesn't summon you to the commonplace. He beckons you to feats that shatter human logic's confines. So, engrave this in your soul. The incoming blessing isn't tailored for a solitary soul, but for an enduring legacy. It's not fated to perish with you, but to flow through your offspring, your mentees, your societies. It's both seed and harvest intertwined. If you're poised to receive it, realize you're not merely about to be favored. You're on the cusp of embodying a living blessing for multitudes. For the Lord entrusts you not just with gold, but with his timeless blueprint. Now ponder this. Had Joseph spurned the vision in his prison depths, what glories would he have forfeited? If Esther had shrunk from her moment, how many would have perished? The blessing en route bears the same gravity of urgency and accountability. And you're stepping into this epic tale. You already sense the rumbling in your spirit, the quaking of your life's foundation. Yet, this is merely the prelude. If the heavens unleash a blessing of such colossal proportions, understand that the divine never dispenses it haphazardly. The kingdom operates via spiritual principles, unseen keys unlocking doors invisible to the average eye. Many yearn for prosperity, yet few embrace the rigor it demands. That's why the Lord discloses to his elect 3 foundational keys. 3 pillars distinguishing dreamers from those who will truly stride in billionaire-level favor. The initial key is instruction. The divine never utters words idly. Each syllable from his lips harbors a seed of flourishing and destiny. Habakkuk 2:2 instructs, "Write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it." This implies the secret lies not just in hearing but in documenting, capturing and materializing what the divine whispers in your inner sanctum. Too many receive heavenly insights only to let them dissipate like mist. But the chosen recognize that every divine word is a map, a directive, a blueprint for tomorrow. When you transcribe these utterances, you convert them into actionable strategies, forming the scaffolding upon which abundance can rest. Never dismiss the subtle phrases slipped into your prayers, for a seemingly trivial notion might encapsulate billions poised to redeem nations. The second key is integrity. The secular world assumes wealth arises from cunning, deceit, or ethical compromises. But the elect know true abundance is sealed by character. Proverbs 10:22 states, "The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it." In essence, divine prosperity doesn't demand soul sacrifices at greed's altar. It requires safeguarding your heart from taint. For what good is gold in your grasp if your spirit hardens to stone? The divine doesn't pour into cracked vessels. He lavishes his riches on those who uphold truth, even unobserved, those who reject betraying their core for fleeting gains. Integrity forms the unseen bedrock, rendering you worthy to steward a blessing others might squander to their downfall. The third key is implementation. Herein lies where multitudes falter. They hear, they record, yet they waver. They postpone, awaiting flawless timing, extra affirmations, additional signs. But the divine imparts visions not to languish in notebooks, but to spring into motion. Luke 16:10 reminds, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." It's in prompt obedience, even to minor directives, that the divine gauges your readiness for vast duties. Undervalue no small step. The concept you overlook today could unlock billions tomorrow. The outreach you ignore might be the divine link you've awaited. Obedience's swiftness proves faith's depth. These 3 keys aren't elective. They're essential. They forge an invisible armor shielding your path where adversaries seek to divert and delay. Instruction, integrity, and implementation, united, they generate momentum where nothing halts divine fulfillment in your life. They separate those who fantasize about transformation from those who incarnate it. Pause and reflect. How often has an idea blazed within you, only for fear to snuff it out? How many times have you sensed an inner call yet shelved it, deeming the timing off? What if that very hesitation delayed your breakthrough's key? The divine is reigniting forgotten visions, unused notes, buried promises within you. But this time the Spirit declares, delay no more, for the next opportunity isn't a mere trial. It's the catalyst for all prophesied over your life. If you dare respond, you'll witness a portal open that neither time, mortals, nor foes can seal. When the heavens decree such an immense blessing, know that shadows stir instantly. The adversary fears not your history but quakes at your future. As soon as divine light illuminates you, opposing forces rise to derail your trajectory, postpone your ascent, or sow corrosive doubt. Yet, heed this prophetic assertion. No scheme of the enemy shall prevail against an elect who knows their identity. Isaiah 54:17 affirms this unshakable truth. Opposition may assail, but it cannot dominate you. The devil recognizes he can't revoke what the divine has etched in the stars. So, he employs diversion, scattering your focus, tempting with glittering alternatives leading to dead ends. Often, he doesn't hurl overt barriers, but dangles alluring yet deceptive gateways, hoping you'll opt for instant ease over divine patience. If you lower your defenses, you might mistake a counterfeit for the genuine. Thus, he doesn't demolish the promise, but subtly veers you off course. He'll amplify contrary voices, whispers of terror. You're unprepared, unworthy. This isn't for you. He'll even deploy close confidants to label your aspirations oversized, your visions fanciful. But never forget, the enemy doesn't battle voids. His fierce uprising signifies he's glimpsed the divine's imprint on your fate. And here's the divine paradox. Every assault morphs into evidence you're on the correct path. Heightened resistance confirms you're a threat to dark realms. Fear not the storm, for it unveils your anchor's strength. Jesus slumbered amid the gale, knowing seas couldn't swallow one with a heavenly mandate. Similarly, your billionaire blessing is guarded by a word mightier than winds howls or waves crashes. Yet, stay vigilant. Distractions won't solely emerge externally, they'll sprout from your thoughts. You'll be lured to compare, envy others' journeys, rush ahead of divine timing. The adversary manipulates clocks masterfully, urging haste or inducing slumber when action beckons. The antidote? Remain aligned, attuned to the promiser's voice. When the divine says wait, he's not withholding. He's priming a grander unveiling than you conceive. Remember, you're not solitary in this fray. Heavens wage war on your behalf. Angels encircle your steps. Christ's blood is your triumph seal. Opposition may bellow, but its roar is empty. The cross disarmed all powers. Your sole charge, stand resolute, repel falsehoods, fix eyes on the pledge. For in rejecting distraction, declaring no, I know my essence and destination, the enemy falls mute. And now, absorb this as direct prophecy into your spirit. Chains binding your ancestors won't constrain you. Cycles of failure, destitution, and turmoil end with you. What ravaged prior generations holds no sway over you, for you tread under a distinct canopy. You bear the elect's shield. You're the anomaly, the cycle breaker inaugurating a fresh lineage. So, if attacks mount today, distractions pile up, don't dismay. It's the harbinger of something gargantuan. Battle signals blessing's proximity. Moreover, every enemy strike is repurposed as a launch pad. What the devil intended for slowdown, the divine recycles for acceleration. Yes, wounds become gateways, scars testimonies, tears rivers of plenty. But the pivotal query, when the next assault arrives, will you stand firm or let doubt pilfer what the divine entrusts? Know this, the impending shake isn't a snare, but a trial. Traverse it, and you'll behold an opening even adversaries can't shut. When the divine references a billionaire's blessing, It's not a static treasure locked in a vault where the soul suffocates. No, this favor is a vibrant flow, a river in perpetual motion. The core question: what will you do with what heavens deposit in your grasp? For the Lord never bestows to pamper, he entrusts to evaluate. Every celestial resource entering your life is a commission, a duty, a key elevating you to earthly kingdom steward. This is stewardship's dimension, realizing what you receive isn't ownership but guardianship, a conduit channeling divine glory and abundance into the world. Recall Matthew 25's talents parable. 3 servants get portions from their master. 2 venture to invest, multiply, bear fruit. The third, fearful, buries his. Upon return, the master commends the first 2, but condemns the third, not for loss, but inaction. This isn't mere spiritual finance, it's prophetic caution. The divine expects you not to entomb his deposits but activate, expand, transform seed to harvest, inception to legacy. Thus, this billionaire blessing isn't solely a boon but a test. The Lord gives because he knows you'll sow, construct, metamorphose. Stewardship isn't abstract. It demands bravery, insight, foresight. Many fantasize millions, few query. If entrusted, what would I do? The divide between squanderers and multipliers. The former views wealth as endpoint, the latter as means for mending the broken, feeding the hungry, unlocking education, funding spiritual quests, freeing families from poverty. Your riches become eternal seeds. The divine entrusts gold not for perfection, but having scanned your heart, spotting fidelity weathering storms. He sees you're not hoarders, but comprehenders that deepest joy lies not in amassing, but witnessing lives altered via redistribution. Each generous deed incarnates prophecy. Every seed sown cries heavenward, drawing more abundance. Kingdom law. Givers receive, sowers reap, waterers get watered. Yet beware, the adversary deceives here too, whispering it's all for you alone, deserving solitary savoring. This notion poisons. Ceasing circulation dries the blessing. A stagnant river turns swamp. The divine calls you not as reservoir, but vibrant channel. Your life, a ceaseless current transforming inflows into others' miracles. The mystery: more given, more received. Daring release invites more entrustment, for he sees mission over greed governs you. That's why some query, why them? Simple. They've proven wise management where others wasted. The divine seeks stewards, not accumulators. So today, interrogate. What of the inner billionaire the divine awakens? Bury chance or multiply beyond human bounds? Heavens watch. Resources go to bold builders. Now feel this spiritual weight descending. What you deemed blessing is truly test. Every sent door tie heaven sent is covert celestial exam. Pass, and what's seen is mere foretaste. The true abundance river hasn't yet surged. Legacy, that dimension eclipsing self-receipt. When the divine utters billionaire blessing, he envisions not pride-swollen accounts but transformed bloodlines, eras stamped by your compliance. What heavens entrust today isn't to expire with you but race onward, impacting progeny, descendants, even unmet souls. Deuteronomy 8:18. But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant. See, wealth seals alliance, not just for you, but successors. Envision life where resources aren't digits, but keys unlocking thousands doors. Schools from your vision lifting kids from squalor to splendor. Ministries your hands fund spreading light where darkness ruled. Families unchained from poverty via your bold choice. Your blessing. Not end, but genesis. Like stone rippling water, waves touching distant shores. The divine uplifts not for comfort tasting, but name as bridge for his glory's flow. Gold in your hands builds indestructible bases. Structures crumble, visions endure. Money vanishes, spiritual legacies transmit. Anchoring mission here shifts you from beneficiary to future architect. Revisit Joseph. Governorship not personal flaunt but nation sustenance. Wealth, safety net via obedience. Likewise, the divine positions you where resources transcend personal, tools scripting history anew. Your constructs outlive breath. Blessings true measure, not holdings, but leavings. Don't assume this for biblical giants alone. The divine preps invisible builders' generation, elect reigning sons' thrones. Daily choices, secret sowings, silent sacrifices forge steel solid legacies. You plant tiny seed today, eternity yields forests. Thus, broaden vision. Blessing doesn't halt at home but flows as river feeding cities. Think children entering faith-built classes, families praising regained dignity from your sparked project, souls salvaged via timely hand from obedience-funded ministry. That's legacy, mission. Yet mystery lurks. Adversary shrinks vision to self, claiming legacy mere family comfort. But divine counters. No, your legacy speaks beyond home, to nations, visible covenant testimony. Grasping this, resources morph. Money becomes souls. Opportunities generations. Today heavens pose burning query. What leave behind? Consume blessing or etch enduring trace? Incoming billions. Not reward, but mission. Pen and ink for eternal story. Dare write, and history starts with you, echoing to time's end. Now, sense this query thundering silently. What build? Who benefits from divine deposits? This response might unlock final revelation. Chosen. It's no accident these words reach you. Heavens mobilize. Generation-locked gates burst under divine might. What ancestors hoped unseen, you're selected to live. Not distant vow, immediate activation. Now. Embrace. Not crawl in dust but stride in light. Not scrape in lack but overflow in plenty. Not beg crumbs but rule authoritatively. The billionaire divine raises isn't worldly admired rich, but glory. Channel. Living covenant proof. Let this word sear your depths. Your demonstration divine forgets not choices. Your life. Testimony quaking doubts, shattering chains, inspiring eras. Tears to laughter, ruins to palaces, deserts to rivers. Lord uplifts not momentarily but eternally. Declare boldly in comments. 777. Lord, I'll steward sent with wisdom, boldness. Inscribe as alliance, spiritual seal. Show heaven's readiness, enemy no retreat. Subscribe, bell on, share with another. Elect needing this prophetic word. This isn't solo, it's wave. You're at its core. Heed these finals as spirit thunder. Waiting era ends, limitations over, excuses shattered. Chosen, marked, sent. World sees you anew forever.